What is going on, guys? My name is Clutch Sometimes, your coach of the Kansas City Kingdras, here bringing you a massive makeup of my matches from the first 5 weeks of the league. I just played my League 5 match the other day. This is the last 5 matches over the month that it's been since my draft analysis. I apologize for that. I've been busy, and I said, hey, I can just get all these out of the way right now. So I'm going to, and hopefully I will resume with the regular uploads afterward in the coming weeks, with week 6 coming next week. So let's get right into it. Our first matchup is against Toast and the Winnipeg War Turtles. Toast was a semi-finalist last season in Origins, which we recently in Origins ended up losing to the eventual champion Lo-Fi, I believe. Correct? Someone in comments can correct me if I'm wrong. Very good player. Toast is a very quality player, but it's a very interesting team this season. He has potentially speed pass offense, dude. I think is really, really cool. But he also has Lucario, which is a monstrous threat. Mega Ampharos hits so hard against my team, and he has ways of getting up hazards that I don't deal with very well, because the original iteration of this team has terrible hazard control. Like, it's actually terrible. After this match, I go out and drop Toxicroak for Cryogonal, just to try and fix my hazard control. So looking at this team, the team that we brought this week, we have Expert Belt 4 attacks, Raikou, no Volt Switch, Feather Ball, HP, Grass, Signal Beam, Thunderbolt. If he brought a faster team, it would have worked out a lot better, because HP Grass hits Seismitoad, Weather Ball, hits Glide, it hits Claydol in the rain for super effective damage, hits Marowak in the rain for damage. Like, it's just such a nasty breaker against. So we can clean up really well. It's modest because you have to run. It's Rash because you have to run Rash for Weather Ball. I have defensive Politoed with Damp Rock, Haste, Scald, Toxic Rest, nothing major. I have a pretty standard defensive Spadef Celesteela, Leech Seed Protect, have some Earthquake. I have sub Thunderwave Gardevoir, trying to get speed control in case I need it. I have Life Orb 4 attacks Kingdra, and I have Choice Scarf Garchomp. So looking into this game, look at the lead matchup. He doesn't have too much that he can lead with and get. I want to try and limit the potential momentum he can get out of this. And I'm comfortable playing around with this team. I'm pretty comfortable playing around with this team. I have to be really careful around Mega Ampharos, because they can run pretty much. Dragon Electric is just so good against my team in coverage. So I didn't think, and in this team I really didn't prep enough quite for it. So getting into the match, I look at this team and I said, I'm going to lead Garchomp, because I think leading Garchomp is a really good option for me. If he leads Sylveon, I have one of the best switch-ins to Sylveon potentially possible in Celesteela. So I lead off with Garchomp, and he leads off with the Noivern. He leads the Noivern, and he immediately frisks me and finds my Choice Scarf. So right here, I'm like, I'm going to go for Dragon Claw. If he wants to switch out, great. Because most of his switch-ins I have answers to, and he can't go Ampharos and Mega. His switch-in's going to be Sylveon, so I can Dragon Claw here pretty much without a care. So I'm going to do exactly that. I Dragon Claw, and he lives on this Sash, and right here it scares me a little, because this is such a great revenge killer against him. And he Sashes and he taunts. So I'm like, okay, great. Moving on, I'm just going to Dragon Claw again, and he goes hard into Sylveon. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I move on, and I just go into Celesteela here. Celesteela just a good offensive pivot here, and he goes right into the Celebi. I'm like, well, this is interesting. Just in my head, I'm going, wow, this is kind of interesting. I don't want him, like, I'm not sure what the Celebi's going to be. Because, like, at preview, like, yeah, it's a good rain check, and it's good to bring on this team. So I'm just going to protect here, because I have ways of dealing with it. It can't boost its speed, so Raikou's always going to be faster. And I have Signal Beam for it. I am not really too afraid of this with Celebi. So I'm just going to put Protect. And Scouty wants to go for it. He sets up Rocks. I'm like, okay, so it's kind of more support oriented. He probably has Recover on there. And he shows the light screen, I said. And I look at that and I go, well, that's interesting. And right when he shows light screen, I know he can't touch my Celesteela. But I do know that screens are going to be a major problem for me. So I just start firing off heavy slams. He doesn't really want to switch into that. I decided maybe a little Marowak. So I go into my Mega Gardevoir, I get the Trace, and we get the Natural Gear System Reflect. So he's dual screens at this point. So looking at this, I'm going, okay. I just kind of a tough position for me. I'm just gonna go Gardevoir. Gardevoir is really nice against him. The speed tier is super solid outside of like Noivern, but I don't have any rocks on this team. So I really just have to like click buttons, start clicking buttons, start trying to waste turns. So I'm gonna do like that. I go for sub, hoping he can't break my sub. And he goes for Trick Room. Boys, this is no attack Celebi. Honestly, one of the coolest sets I've seen in a while. And he goes hard out into Sylveon. Looking at this team, I'm sitting there going, I have to deal with this somehow. Because Marowak and Trick Room is terrifying. Mega Ampharos is terrifying in Trick Room. Like, Sylveon can be terrifying, but he's obviously not. He does show the lefty, so okay, it's not Specs. And he shows off the Wish, I'm like, okay. So I just start throwing off Psyshocks. I'm kind of like trying to pressure him to the extent of where he can't really do much to me. So he's gonna keep throwing off Hyper Voices. He's after the Wish. I just throw off another Psyshock, do some good damage. I'm trying to stall out Trick Room and Screen's turn with this. In hindsight, it wasn't the best idea, just because how good Mega Gardevoir is at dealing with some of his big threats. He's gonna start throwing another Wish. I can keep throwing off Psyshocks. And like, okay. But at this point, if I can get rid of Marowak, I can wall his team with Celesteela. That's kind of the game plan I'm looking. If I can deal with Marowak and Mega Ampharos, I can deal with Celesteela really, really well. So I have to keep throwing off Psyshocks. He's gonna take me out with this Hyper Voice. Again, in hindsight, going Celesteela there was just so good against him because he doesn't do much to it. So I am gonna go Celesteela here now, I believe. As he gets another Wish, he gets the leftovers. My screen goes away. I throw back in my Celesteela. He goes into Celebi. I'm just gonna throw off a Heavy Slam. Does literally no damage because this is like a super defensive Celebi behind screens. I'm like, okay, so he's just gonna keep throwing up these screens. I'm sitting there going, you can't touch my Celesteela, and if you want to give me this defense boost, I will gladly take it. So Celesteela's just gonna keep throwing off Heavy Slams, and I take out this Celebi. So I'm sitting at turn 16. I'm like, okay, I have to find a way to stall out screens, and then I've got a real legitimate shot at this game. So I get the defense boost, which is fantastic for me. He's on to Lucario, and he starts Swords Dancing. I said, shoot. And that's not good for me. So I protect, I protect him. He Swords Dances, I Leech Seed, I protect, he goes Combats. If he went for another Swords Dance, I'm up a creek. And I look at this team and I go, okay, so Raikou is really good if he brought a faster offensive build and I can control it. But against the team he brought, Raikou's not that good. So he's going to close combat my Raikou into Oblivion. And I'm like, okay. So I'm forced to bring out Garchomp here. I'm forced to bring out Garchomp, go for Earthquake. And he makes that, he knows that. And he just switches right to Noivern. And this thing sticks around for way too long. He goes out to Noivern, which is Taunt Super Fang, which is a really nice bring against me. Just a fantastic Saw Breaker. But I know he has Taunt in that situation. Just go right for the Heavy Slam. Hits a lot of his team for good damage. And right there, turn 22, there are no more screens on his side. So now I'm not as pressured to deal with this. As he goes out into his Mega Ampharos, I just go on to Politoed, try to set Rain. And so I can handle this with Kingdra. And he shows the sub. This is such, again, props to Toast. He knows I'm switching there, and sub is just such a great bring against me. Sub, huge breaker, and I'm forced to go into Garchomp, try to take the Thunderbolt, which I do. And again, I'm forced, and right here, Earthquake is a really free click. So that's what I go for. I just Earthquake here. I'm forced to. It's really frustrating that I do, but I will go for it. He Dragon Pulse, the crit does not matter. I just go right to Kingdra. And right here, I'm looking like, okay, I'm Life Orb. So in the back of my mind, I said, I think I have to like Dragon Pulse / Draco. I have Dragon Pulse, I believe. Yeah, I have Dragon Pulse. I'm forced to Dragon Pulse here. I cannot play with this threat. And he just goes out to Sylveon. And This is right again, right here a situation. I wish I had Stealth Rocks up because Sylveon can come in for free and not get punished. Because like with Rocks up, I believe he's in range of Life Orb Hydro. So I'm forced to switch out back to my Celesteela. Try to keep this thing as healthy as I possibly can. And right here is where it gets really interesting to me. Because I know he has the Wish, and I can't let him pass to Lucario. That's just my thing. I'm going to click Earthquake. I'm going to mash that Earthquake button. And I mash the Earthquake button, and Celesteela picks up its second kill of the season right there. Which is fantastic for me. I get the defense boost, and now it's starting to look really interesting. Because I have a Kingdra's really looking good against him if I can get more chip on Sylveon. He goes out into the Mega Ampharos. I switch out into Kingdra and sack it. Because in the back of my mind, I switch out into Kingdra to sack it. Because looking at the way the field shapes, I want the rain up so I take less from Flare Blitzes from Marowak. That's my whole game plan. I go back up, but end up like this plan does not go. I end up having to try and 1v1 this entire game with the Celesteela, and it's just not. This end game does not look well for me because I don't have much for this Ampharos. But he switches out, which I'm not sure why he did, because it lets me back into this game. Because he lets in Sylveon, so I Scald for damage, get the burn. Thankfully, rain stops. And I just go straight out into my Celesteela. And I said, I need this thing to be as healthy as possible. And he shows Reflect Sylveon. I said, he has more screens. I don't know if I can win this again. So he gets the Reflect up. I Leech Seed, try to get as much health back as I can. With Lefties and Leech Seed, I back up to 53 here. And again, he doesn't show the Wish yet, but he goes out into Ampharos. And I believe I double Leech Seed. Yep. I get the double Leech Seed off. And I'm starting to try and wear into this thing. I protect. But the way he gave me this, when he switched out Ampharos, he gave me another sack to play with. So as my Celesteela is back up to 90, I go for the double protect, just trying to like get some more chip on it, and I'm back up, and he goes for Thunderbolt. I know it won't kill me unless he crits. I take 85%, and immediately I'm back up to 22. I stall out the turns. He goes out into Marowak. I go for Earthquake because this is now in range. He shows the Marowak, which is now at 54%. I go into my switch in for this, which is my Politoed. And he goes for the Shadow Bone, does about 30. I'm like, that's really interesting. Why didn't that do so little? I found out after the match he's Belly Drum Citrus Berry. So like, whatever you want to take away from that. So he goes back out into Sylveon. I throw up another Scald, do about 20. And again, I just go hard Celesteela. If he doubles, I'm not sure what doubling would get him. This game is coming down to the wire because he switched out his Ampharos. Ampharos literally could have clicked Thunderbolt twice and won. So he protects. I'm trying to make him so he doesn't Wish Pass in one of these two. That's my whole game with that. So I'm here with my Celesteela. I am faster than this. I go for a Leech Seed. He reflects. Right here, I could have done massive amounts of damage to this Sylveon. I could have heavy slammed right there. I should have heavy slammed right there. So I take 46. I expect him to switch, and he doesn't. So again, these Leech Seed mind games are what's getting me in this game. Again, I'm getting myself as healthy as possible. He goes out into Marowak. I Earthquake, trying to get him so he can't do that. But behind the Reflect, it just doesn't do anything. And he gets the Citrus Berry plus the Wish, so this Marowak is back at full. I Earthquake again, just trying to get damage off because I know he's not thick. I know he's not Thick Club. So Shadow Bone is not going to do that much. Flare Blitz is very much not powered up. So now I get my other sack back into Politoed. So I get the rain back up, so Flare Blitz doesn't do near as much. And again, I just throw up another Scald. And I rest here, because I just need to keep Politoed here as a sack. I can't let him have that sack advantage on me. I need to have that switch in so I can keep, so if he wants to go Ampharos, I can have it. He sets up another Reflect as I switch back into my Celesteela. I said, I need to get Leech Seed. I need more health on my Celesteela. So I Leech Seed up again. I get more health back. I'm back up to about almost 70% now. And right here, I tried to Earthquake. I needed to crit. If I crit, I was like, right there, I said he's going, if he gets Ampharos in, he crit. If I don't crit, I lose. Gets it back in. And then Thunderbolt's gonna, I try to just protect, like, as he subs, he makes a great play in subbing. And I just, and at this point, I am done with it. I lose. And almost could have pulled it back, I think. I'm not entirely sure. That whole, like, and it ends up showing me I'm faster. That doesn't matter on the Thunderbolt. But, which means maybe I could have Earthquaked. I don't know. It would have been a very interesting game. But I don't think, him switching out was just him knowing that I was faster than this. But yeah, that's going to be week 1. Really good game to Toast. Toast played a fantastic game, prepped extremely well. This Ampharos would just cause me so many problems. And after this match, I went out and I dropped Toxic Rogue, which wasn't going to do much for my team anyway, for another Defogger and Cryogonal, which was honestly super useful. Which honestly ends up being super useful in my later matches, as you will see. So, on to week 2, let me just change the logo here. There we go. Now these Snowpoint Sneasels, led by their coach Yeesh. And Yeesh has a very scary team. Oh my gosh. It's Veil set of spam with Landorus, like Landorus, Mega Gira, Ferrothorn. Like Ferrothorn's there just as a hazard stacker. Like, this team is terrifying to play against. Very good, very offensively. Yeesh is a very fantastic coach. I played him in season 1. He made semifinals. I beat him in semifinals. Very good coach. So, team composition on my side. I have an offensive-ish Cryogonal, Defog, HP, Fire, Freeze, Dry, Recover. Enough investment to 2 max spit at Ferrothorn. I have defensive, Stealth Rock, Helmet Chomp, Scarf, Raikou, trying to hopefully deal with Gyarados. I have defensive, bulky, like a bulky defensive, like a little bit of speed investment, Arcanine. I have Spadef, Licky, and then I have a very, very standard Leaf Seed Celesteela. So looking at this team again, I cannot let him set up Veil for free on me. Defog does break his Veil, which is nice. So he leads off with Gyarados immediately. And if you look at my team, you look at Gyarados, there's not much there. Gyarados is a major problem. So he leads off with it, and he just megas up, and he just goes. I go for the Wisp. I connect. I'm faster than then max speed Gyarados. He starts Dragon Dancing. I said, okay, that's fine. I can handle this. I can live with him Dragon Dancing. I go out on Raikou. I'm like, I'm just gonna start like throwing off some attacks, like make him switch out. And I Volt. Like I'm expecting to like try and go like something here. Volt does about 50%. I said, that's so defensive. And he shows the rest. And right here, I start looking at my team and start looking at this Gyarados and going, well, is this already over? At this point, I'm gonna start trying to play my house. So I roar with Garchomp. I get a little lucky here with Sleep Talk, because he Dragon Dances, and I throw out the roar. So this is kind of currently my out of Dragon Dance Rest Mega Gira, because that thing's such a problem against me already. He does A9, gets the Snow Warning up. I got to Cryogonal, hits it the Veil. He's gonna Moonblast, do about nothing to me, and I Defog. Keeping Veil off the field is super important for me, because Veil with this Mega Gyarados set literally beats me. He goes for Veil again. I go for Hidden Power Fire, does literally nothing. He Moonblast, does about another 50%. I throw another Defog. I know I can take the Moonblast pretty comfortably. And I get to recover off here. And right here, I'm like, okay, he's wasted 1 turn of sleep. He goes out to Ferrothorn. I'm going for Freeze Dry 100% of the time. Goes to the Ferrothorn, and I switch out in my Arcanine. Just trying to really deal with this team. Goes back out into Gyarados. Really, really scary double right there. I'm forced to go out into Raikou, try and get momentum, as he Dragon Dances again. And I'm like, good grief. I Volt Switch, he does nothing again. I go out to Arcanine, try to get the Intimidates, trying to buffer it. Waterfall does about 90. Then I miss Wisp, And right here I'm sitting there going, well, I think this might be game, guy. In the back of my mind, I'm like, this is probably game. This is probably game. He Dragoness again. I show the Wisp again. I hit it this time. At this point, I'm just gonna let I go for the E-speed damage, get some chip as he rests. So again, I'm gonna start trying to play off nasty sleep talk rolls. Hopefully get into my favor. I go out into Raikou, trying to get momentum, trying to get damage off on this Gyarados. He rests. Like that's good for me, bad for him. He goes again. He gets rest a second time. Good for me, bad for him. I need him to wake up and not kill me. Good joke on my end. So this Gyarados is just controlling this game right now. So I go out into my Garchomp, knowing I can take a hit because it is Mono Waterfall. And it does about 60. I get the rough skin damage, I get the helmet damage, and I roar him out. He is at 13%. So he goes on to Dragalge here. Now I set my rocks on this Dragalge because I do not want to. I don't want to mess with it. And in rocks, Gyarados can't switch in on rocks plus another attack. So I am trying to play a little bit on the potential of Yeesh throwing away his Mega Gyarados, because that's the if he brings it in on an attack, he loses it. Good for me, which is fantastic for me. He Moonblast. I let him have my Rocker because he didn't bring Hazard Control other than Landorus, which I don't think is defog. So I go out into Celesteela knowing full well I can wall this. He goes out into Raichu. I throw off a Leech Seed. And just throw off Leech Seeds here, and I go out into my Licky here. He goes for the Nuzzle, which honestly I was didn't want anything about this team to get parried, but if anything did get parried, I would rather have my Licky. This turn is super crucial in this match for me. Very, very crucial. Because I said to myself, if I don't get parried, I'm trying to catch I'm throwing off Ice Beam too. I'm trying to catch this Gyarados on the switch in. As he Volt switches, and he goes out in the Gyarados, and at the bottom of my heart I'm saying, please don't get parried. So Choji sits there, he breaks through with the Ice Beam, and Gyarados is gone. So that is fantastic. Because with my 4 mons I have left, I can still win this game. He does trouble breaking Celesteela outside of Raichu, so if I handle Raichu, I can win this game. Handle Raichu and Landorus. Celesteela can win this game for me. So he goes out into Dragalge, he's trying to like, I go for Protect the Scout, he goes for Sludge Bomb, trying to get as much damage off as he can. He goes for Thunderbolt, and I get parried. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. There's another Sludge Bomb. I go for Wish here, just trying to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can. He Surfs. I'm saying, okay, and he knows I'm trying to potentially pass that Wish Not Arcane. Good play on his end. But I'm just going to sit this Licky here and not let him do anything to me. I just got to start throwing off Ice Beams. He gets his rocks up, and I get parried. If I remember correctly, I do have Flamethrower on this set. I do. So at least I go for a Flamethrower. He is Akaberry. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't do much. About 25% there. Raichu comes in. I drop another Wish. I'm just taking the Leech Seed damage. He does another Volt Switch. Crits me, does about 25%, which is kind of amazing. He goes out in the Landorus, gets the Intimidate off. I throw off an Ice Beam. He's Yachi Landorus. He does about 45%. So again, I get another Wish off. So another Ice Beam would put him in range. So he goes out in a Ferrothorn. And his Licky set is just sitting in front of him and being an absolute behemoth for him to deal with. Again, I see no reason other than just to attack what's in front of me. Throw off a Flamethrower. Here as he goes back into Landorus. I actually throw off a Wish, my bad. I'm trying to keep this thing as healthy as I can. Goes back out in the Ferrothorn. Throw off an Ice Beam. Just trying to get anything out of it, and I freeze. Super big, I get the Wish off. I'm sitting there going, I don't want to go for Fire move. I believe I throw off another Wish here. Do I? I freeze, I go for the Ice Beam again. He goes on to Raichu, about 45% Raichu. He Endeavors. Awesome tech by Yeesh right there. It's great for Celesteela. It's great for my Fat Mons. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so This is his way of wearing me down. I go for Wish on this turn, and I get Para. So I knew he couldn't deal with it, but now that he has worn me down into range where Leech Seed plus Volt Switch will knock me out, I am going to try to take this attack. I'm going to try to get the turn of leftovers up. He gets the Volt Switch. He volts. I just barely lived the attack. He goes into his Frozen Ferrothorn, trying to get something out of this turn. I get the Wish off just as I lose the Leech Seed damage. I get Arcanine in. I get the Intimidate off. I go for Flamethrower into the Dragalge spot. Does nothing. And I get health back. And then right at this point, I'm sitting there going, looking at his team, I'm down 5-3. And I said there, I go, I can win this game. Celesteela, I just need Raichu weakened a lot. And Keith can do that for me. So I go hard on my Celesteela, knowing this Dragalge really can't do much to me. Because the Dracos is about 20% of the Celesteela. And I just draw off a Leech Seed. As he goes out into Raichu. Celesteela being a Celesteela. These first couple games are very long. As he goes for the Knuckle, just trying to get me on a para, trying to win against this 1v1 with that para. I go out to Arcanine, just trying to deal with his Raichu. As he nuzzles my Arcanine, which I'm fine with. I don't really need the speed on my Arcanine anymore. Gyarados is now gone. I E-speed trying to pick off Raichu, and I do. If we look at what's left on his team, Celesteela is a monstrous problem. So Arcanine Landorus comes in on my Arcanine. I'm -1 and paralyzed, and I cannot switch out in fear of the Rock Polish. So I'm going to sit here and Flamethrower. Actually, I have Wisp on the Arcanine. My brain was. It's been a while since this match. I Wisp Landorus, which is fantastic. I could not let him set up on me for free. I'm just going to sit here and spam Extreme Speed until I die. The chip damage is going to rack up. He throws off a Swords Dance, and he's going to continue in hope that I don't break through. He's just going to keep setting up. I just get all this damage off on Landorus, and Landorus does literally nothing, which is fantastic for me. I get the leftovers, and he goes out in a Dragalge. That was his last hope of dealing with Celesteela in my eyes, because this doesn't do anything. I go for Mortensen trying to scout. I go out to Celesteela. He Thunderbolts me. That is a Thunderbolt from a Dragalge. It does less than 40%. Throw off a Leech Seed. Just like the Leech Seed plus leftovers, honestly, just so hard for him to deal with. Goes out to Ferrothorn, which can't do much to me. I Heavy Slam. I Heavy Slam just for damage, because I know the Dragalge doesn't take it well. I go for Flamethrower. Ferrothorn now knocked out. I get the defense boost, and he goes back into Dragalge. I know I am faster. I go for the Heavy Slam, and I knock out the Dragalge. And Celesteela pulling this game back. Maybe an opponent. I think he may have definitely would have had a chance if the Gyarados had been alive still. But I go for Heavy Slam. I knock out this Ninetales, and the Kingdoms move to 1-1 on the season. A really fun game. Again, having to play on my back foot is something I'm not the best at, but these first two games are something I really had to do it, and it's been a lot. So, moving on to Game 3 of the season, let me just change the logo here. Bop. Playing Lovecraft in the Misatonic Tentacruels. Lovecraft, PCL Generations Champion last season. Very good player, very good coach, very good guy. And I took one look at this roster and said, Kingdra goes in if I weaken Feeny. And my team has a lot to deal with bulky waters. And especially in Raikou. So if we're going to talk about team composition here, I will try to return the regular team builders later on. We are Choice Specs, Kingdra, Damprock, Scald, Encore, HP, Bug, Politoed. Your max defense. I am Sword Stamps, Groundium, Garchomp with Aquatail. Aquatail is there for Gliscor, which +2 Aquatail in the rain is an Oko. Fun fact. I am Speedy Sub Leech Seed Protect Celesteela with Heavy Slam. He does not deal with this well. I have enough speed to be faster, no investment Tapu Fini. which in this case is also faster than Registeel with a decent amount of investment. This thing is so good against him if I can deal with Hoopa. If I can somehow deal with Hoopa U, and I can somehow deal with Rotom, which I have some spicy stuff for Rotom. I am defensive. I'm defensive Arcanine, trying to handle Komo to an extent. This doesn't work. You'll see, it doesn't work out very well. This was Wisp Reflect for a little bit instead of a couple of the moves. It's not like Morning Sun Wild Charge, but it was such an odd set. Like, I was like, and Reflect isn't legal with Intimidate. So I was like, I don't need Wisp on this game. In this game, I don't think. And then I have Assault Vest, Raikou, Weather Ball, Volt Switch, or Sphere, Discharge. Discharge is a little bit lucky for me later on, but I don't think it really matters. So, starting off the game, looking at his team, I know Beedrill was a really good option for him. I didn't feel like I lost anything leading off with Raikou. Also, this game is really, really late at night. I think it was 2 a.m. I got off work on a Sunday. It was wild. But he made it work. So I lead off with my Raikou. He leads off with his Beedrill. I go hard out into my Arcanine, knowing that, hey, and he sets a layer of Toxic Spikes. And I kind of sat back for a second and said, whoa. I didn't feel like Toxic Spikes were that good against me, but he kind of interesting bringing his own. So he goes out into Komo, and here's where another Dragonetsmon gets a little bit too much against me. He gets to +1. I go for Roar, and Soundproof blocks the Roar. And right here and right then I said, well, it's been fun. Again, I kind of said to myself, I can't get that lucky twice. I'm gonna lose to a Dragonetsmon one of these weeks. I'm gonna get swept out of the waters. So I just start throwing off. I have HP Ice in this set. I just start throwing him off, like trying to get as much chip on this Komo as possible. He goes to +3 and 30%. He hits the Citrus Berry, and I'm just like, all right, this is probably it. I'm like, kind of looking at my team, like, what can take the hit from this thing? And I look over at Politoed and I said, well, maybe. In the back of my head, I'm saying, if I go Politoed, he doesn't Dragonite, he tries to get greedy on me or something like that, I have Encore. So I go Politoed, I'm going to click Encore, because he can either A, get greedy, B, not kill me, and get Encored into that move, and maybe I have to switch into that move, because he can't lock into something and kill me all at the same time, and kill all my mons. So, this is my only hope at not losing. I get the Drizzle off. He goes for Thunder Punch, does 85%. We live on 16%, and we throw the Encore off. And I talked to Sam after this game, and I said, I make the play of going, just the best play for me is to go hard guard chomp and literally not care about anything what LC says this guy can do, because honestly, going hard guard chomp is just kind of threatening against him in general. He makes a really nice double going out to Hoopa U. I go out to my Garchomp here. Cuddles is back, everybody. And right here, I kind of made a lot of weird clicks, like waiting and kind of in thought. Like, I hit Ground EMZ. I was like, click Swords Dance. I'm like, maybe if he's not Scarf, he might switch out. And I'm like, nah, I'm clicking Ground EM because you don't appreciate it at all. And I'm clicking the Ground EMZ, and this Hoopa U goes down, just drops. And I said, oh, that's a huge lift on my shoulders again. He goes up to Rotom Heat. I have the Aqua Tail mainly for Gliscor, but it does work in this situation as well. I'm rain boosted, max attack Garchomp in the rain with Aqua Tail, and he missed. I missed. And HP Ice takes me out. This is offensive Rotom Heat. And with my team, I said, well, my only electric resist is Raikou. And I know I have some spicy tech for this. I can't throw off a Weather Ball, and maybe he stays in. So I go for that. So I'm going to go to my Raikou, and I'm going to throw off a Weather Ball. And it bops this Rotom. And again, Clutch is fighting back from early Dragon Dancers. Great sequence for us. And now we're looking at this. I'm looking at the team, and I go, Celesteela is a problem. And because I'm the Beedrill, I'm going to click I know he can't get anyone hit, and Discharge is a fairly free click because Terrain isn't up. If he wants to go Feeny, it takes that. And I go for Discharge, and I get the para on this Beedrill. But I do go down to Toxic damage, and I go out right onto Kingdra. I said I wanted to go out into Celesteela, but I knew that would force in something I didn't want. I wanted to force in Feeny so I could get in my Celesteela. Because I know Feeny can't do anything to it. So I just end up getting in my Celesteela. He goes for the Moonblast, does 19. I said I can get subs on this. The subs on this boy. He swaps out to Reggie. I get the sub. And right here is where the game starts to pull. I start to pull this game back into my favor. I get the Leech Seed off. I'm behind the sub. I know I can start throwing off attacks. He throws off the Thunder Punch. Doesn't do anything. I get a Heavy Slam off this 30. Plus the Leech Seed damage is another 12. Now I know if I just protect here, I can get rid of Kommo-o. And now he cannot do anything to break through the Celesteela at this point. And you can see he starts trying to stall me out a little bit. I know he throws off a Skull, but does about needed damage to break my sub. I Leech Seed the Celesteela. And this game is about to get pretty much a little disappointing, but sub Leech Seed Celesteela pretty much just comes in. Doesn't care. Picks up 4 more kills by the end of the Celesteela. Has been an unbelievably perfect mon for this team. It's been fantastic all season. He cannot beat me. Registeel cannot beat my Celesteela 1v1 because unless he's S-toss. If he's S-toss, it becomes a little bit annoying, but I can stall it out. And to a point, then there's the point where I can just bring in Kingdra, reset the ring, bring in Kingdra, start clicking water moves, but he shows he's Iron Head, and that is going to be it. Celesteela puts in massive work with the help of Lure Raikou and Groundium Garchomp, and a lot of help from Max Defense Politoed eating a Thunder Punch, which we lived 100% of the time. Even like we lived at like 94% of the time he's max attack. I found out later he wasn't, but we eat that always. So we moved to 2-1 on the season, 2-1 plus 3 on the season. Absolutely fantastic for us. One of our best starts we've had. This is tying for last season's start in the PCL before I left and did things and had a fire incident. So then we go on and we go to play Brian and his Houston Heatwater. Brian's had a bit of a rough start this season. It's no fault of his own really. Hasn't really clicked. The team had E6 Rama Primarina, because he wanted Cart, and Cart's not really a Rama pick, and he really wanted it, and like it made sense to me. It was a really cool idea. But I bring a pretty standard team. He did have Cart. I bring a pretty standard team, but he's really weak to Cart. Because I have a Starbreaker Sableye here, a taunt with recover knockoff. Like I have Starbreaker Sableye help deal with like Cress. I think he had Cress. I can't remember his team off the top of my head, but it would help deal with some of that stuff. Yeah, Starbreaker Sableye. I have really bulky, I have like enough speed for Primarina, like bulky taunt 3 attacks Gardevoir. I have max Spadef Cryogonal to switch into Primarina. I have Autotomize 3 attacks Celesteela because this team is fairly slow, and I can outspeed Zygarde +2. I'm Akaberry because of the Salazzle that I don't end up seeing coming. I have kind of speedy little defensive Metal Plate Serena. Drop Kick hits his team pretty decently hard, and like Drop Kick's really nice because Pinsir doesn't come in on it for free without losing an attack stat. Then I have in the back just Scarf Garchomp for attacks, Flamethrower for Kartana. Nothing really that special about this team, honestly. He leads off with Stoutland. I lead off with my Gardevoir. I'm like, okay. So I was going hard at Celesteela because like, I'm thinking in my head this is kind of a more standard like set. And he shows off the Thunder Wave, and immediately I kind of get a little sad because Automatic Steel, if I can deal with Reuniclus, went in on this team. But he goes for the he shows the Snarl. I'm like, okay, that's a little unfortunate. I get Parrot. I'm like, okay. So, but I know he can't touch my Garchomp with the set he has. And your ground resist at the current moment doesn't exist. So I just throw off Earthquakes. As he shows the sub Papa, really cool Stoutland set. And he goes out to pincer, takes about 30 from this earthquake. I just go into my Celestial, like, because pincer can't break the Celestial without a boost. And especially, even if I'm offensive. And he goes out into Zygarde here, and I get parried. I think I went for like Air Slash or something like that turn. I had Air Slash, I believe. Yep, I went for Air Slash that turn, like, kind of like, okay. And I'm like, I'm just gonna throw off an HP Ice here because I don't switch into Zygarde super well. And I don't, if he Dragon Dances, if he's like Dragon Dance, like Outrage, it's kind of hard for him to like really. So I just throw off an HP Ice here in case he does try and stay in and like Dragon Dance. And it just buries it. So I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's really, really nice for me. He does that in Primarina. I just go hard Cryogonal because he cannot touch me. And then he can't really touch me. He goes for the Ice Beam. I don't do anything. I get the Freeze Dry off on this Reuniclus. So I'm like, okay, that doesn't do much at all. Very interesting Reuniclus right there. I said, okay. Very much doesn't do too much to me just in general. So Sableye comes out and gets the light screen. I'm like, okay, I'm not letting you do anything else. So I taunt. He throws up a Nightshade. I'm like, wow, this is kind of an odd Reuniclus set. I get the light clay off it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I can 1v1 this Reuniclus literally whenever the heck I want. So I get a Sableye, it gets a recover off, which is really nice for me. Cryogonal comes in, doesn't take much for me. That was a crit Moonblast. It did less than half. Like, honestly, I felt really, really good about that. So I bring in, I get so, and I'm just gonna sit here in front of that and not care. Goes back out to Reuniclus. I freeze dry. Like, if he wants to reflect, that's great for me. I'm just gonna go into my Gardevoir. He ends up going for recover. And again, I am taunt 3 attacks Gardevoir. I'm not gonna let this Reuniclus do much to me at all. Throw off a taunt. Taunt is such a good move, and people don't throw things at it. People don't run taunt. It honestly frustrates me a little bit. So, and he doesn't have good fairy resist on this team. Hyper Voice does 70. Does have a Nightshade because he can't. I know he can't touch me, so I get rid of this Reuniclus. Like, okay, great. That's nice for me. He just goes out into the pincer. I said I can't let this thing set up for free because a +2 pincer is really, really scary against my team. So I'm just gonna start throwing. I throw off a Hyper Voice, give up my Gardevoir for a return. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I got my Sableye. I am Prankster, and obviously Wisp hits everything, so I go for Wisp. I miss, doesn't really matter. I got in a Cryogonal, just try and again. I can wall this Premier set because it's not choiced. I think at this point I'm thinking it might be Scarf, so I'm kind of putting carefully around that. I throw Freeze Dries, like go back out in the Garchomp because I know you can't touch me. Like, I'm playing right around this team because he didn't bring the big threats. I definitely made a big play, kind of a muscle play here, because I knew he wasn't staying in, and I Poison Jab, and honestly and I knew he couldn't really do anything to me. So honestly, Poison Jab like kind of 2-KO'd everything from where we were at. It's a little bit of a flex, but Poison Jab this, gets the poison. He eats a Citrus Berry, and I kind of looked at that mine. I said, "Is this Belly Drum like?" This had to have been Belly Drum. So I'm just gonna stay in, click Poison Jab again. Does do about 40%. He Seed Bombs, so it's about 30. I'm like, that's offensive as heck. Now I'm just gonna keep throwing off Poison Jabs with my Garchomp. Like, literally could care less. Because I know you can't touch me, he goes out and back out into this. Garchomp gets another kill. Garchomp really showed why it's such a great mon. Again, I don't need to risk anything. Go back out into my Cryogonal. Like, literally could not care less about this thing in front of me. He keeps getting these spat drops, which is honestly a little frustrating for me. Because, like, I can't get rid of this thing as fast as I want to. And, like, I'm sitting there, okay, fine, whatever. I freeze dry again, doing another 30%. Moonblast here, and he has another spat. And doesn't quite get another spat. I'm saying his spat drop's coming, though. And, like, he throws off another Moonblast. Spat drop again, I'm at -2. I'm like, okay. So I'm forced to kind of switch out, and I go into my Serena. And I'm like, okay. And I throw off a Trop Kick because I don't want Pinsir coming in. Just hits everything pretty well. Drops Pinsir to -1. I just go hard Garchomp. Eat the return. Garchomp is such a beast, honestly. Throw off the Rock Slide.
He could have gone for quick attack there, but I feel like he thought it might have been faster because I hadn't necessarily revealed the scarf yet. So I revealed the scarf. He goes back out into this, and I'm just gonna end up like. I'm just gonna try to position myself to where Garchomp can. I'm just gonna come back in to an extent here with. I'm just gonna swap around here for a little bit. Taunt things. Make sure he really can't do anything to me. Go into my Garchomp. Snarl's about 8%. Earthquake this. And Primarine. And I said I can bring it. And I just kind of play it safe here. I play for differential a little bit. And bring in this. Throw off a Freeze Dry. And just kind of win the game from there. So we moved to our best record since to our best start in PCL. Our best start in PCL history. 3-1 +8. Never have we gone that well. So before we went 3-4 in season 1. We went 6-4 in season 6-4, something like that. We went like 6-4 in season 2. So we are on a great track heading into our final match of this pseudo movie against Lo-Fi. Yet another championship. He won Generation Origins. He won Origins last season. Honestly, it's a really cool team. I kind of have a soft spot for this team. He drafted all Gen 1 mods. Honestly, that was super dope. I looked at his draft and I looked at my team and I said, I have such a speed advantage. Like, SD Garchomp is a problem for me to deal with. Gardevoir speed ties his fastest mon. I thought my Steel is faster and everything. Raikou just naturally outspeeds. Even if I run Modest, it's the fastest thing in the field. Like, I have such a great offensive matchup here. Like, I bring some fun sets. I bring no item acrobatics on top of myself. Steela. I bring sub 3 attacks. Gardevoir, Hyper Voice, Psychic, HP Ground, covers his entire team pretty dang well. I bring SD, Stealth Rock, Garchomp, Dual Stabs, covers his entire team super well again. He does have Clef on this roster. I bring Life Orb Vortex, Raikou, Extra Sensory, T-Bolt, HP Ground, Volt Switch. And then I have like this, but I have something that can switch into Scarf Nidoking, or just any Nidoking in general. Cryogonal is a great pivot in there. Recover, Freeze Dry, Rapid Spin, Haze. Then I have Defensive Arcanine, so my check to Megazard X. So looking at the team here, he just doesn't like lead Mega Gardevoir, so I lead off with it. And Mega Gardevoir is about to put in some major work here. Hyper Voice big here. As he goes for Toxic Spikes. My big worry there was him going for Shell Smash. I was like, okay, so I don't have to deal with that, which is really nice. I know I'm gonna sub here, trying to get him to. If he switches, that's great for me. So I get a great turn out of there as sub. So he ends up going into Slowbro on my Psychic. I do 20. I get this Bedef drop, which is awesome. Hyper Voice is massive damage. I think that's Assault Vest. Damage later. He goes on to Magneton, takes 50 from Psychic, Mega Gardevoir eats this Flash Cannon, and then we get the Hidden Power Ground into Magneton, and it goes down. Great turns for us. And right here, I'm like, this is both really good against him, but the fact that it's 3%, it's at 3% means it'll die to any hit. Doesn't revenge kill anything, doesn't wall anything. And he brings out Machamp here. It probably has Bullet Punch. He will show it has Bullet Punch, but in my mind, I'm going, if he Bullet Punches me, great for him. Shows it has Bullet Punch, I get in something else to deal with stuff. He has Bullet Punch, and I bring in my Garchomp, just because Garchomp does not care at this point. Garchomp is fantastic. I am SD Stealth Hog Groundium Z. I just throw off the Groundium here. Tectonic Rage does 100% to this Machamp, and Machamp is out of the way for this team, which is a massive problem. So I get a turn of Toxic Spikes. Like, he goes on to Charizard X, and I'm sitting here going, I am clicking Dragon Claw every time on this thing. Now I forget to put Rough Skin on this Garchomp, but Dragon Claw goes there. It does 80. Like, great damage there. And Garchomp goes down. Right here, I could go out into my. I should have gone out to my Raikou and just applied pressure with like any four moves. I could have like extra sensor here for the kill. I go to Arcanine just to like kind of make it so he can't do much. So he goes on to Slowbro. I throw Toxic because I know he's going Slowbro, and if he stays in with Garchomp, great. If he stays in with Zardex, great for him. Honestly, great for him. I go for Toxic. I landed on the Slowbro, which is fantastic for me. Because honestly, if I deal with Slowbro, Celesteela just cleans up this game. I go into Raikou, just trying to figure out. All I need is just a little bit of chip damage on this, and I need Slowbro gone. So what I'm playing the game to where I can win with Celesteela. That's my win condition in this game. I'm gonna keep it in sight. So I take a little bit of poison damage. I go out into my Cryogonal. Because for Earth Power, I'm immune because of Levitate. I throw for Rapid Spin. Again, I'm not. That might have been the most worthless turn I could have had out of that because everything that can be poisoned is already poisoned. This for Flying Throat is about 40. Great for him. So now I choose out draw for Freeze Dry. He sacks off his Cloyster. So Cloyster's out of the way, which is really nice for me. And then he goes out into his, I believe it's a Slowbro? Yeah, he goes on to Slowbro. And right here, I'm saying to myself, chip damage on Slowbro is fantastic for the rest of my game plan. So I'm gonna click Freeze Dry on this Slowbro as long as I possibly can. He shows the Fire Blast. What I should have done here is I should have tried to recover this off and dodged, because eventually he is gonna miss one of these things. I'd hope. But instead, I sit here and I say to myself, if he's like Assault Vest, I suspect he might have been. I'm not quite sure on the set. I didn't do the calc in match. I said if I just Freeze Dry here and he dies to Toxic. That's good. That's fantastic. So I Freeze Dry. Side Shot goes off. Takes care of my plate. I send in and he goes down to the Side Shot damage. I should have gone Raikou here, just applied so much pressure initially, but instead I tried to go out to Celesteela. And he goes out Nidoking. So like I kept making these kind of inopportune plays for myself. And I could have just been sending out Raikou. But I do end up going to Celesteela. I end up going hard Arcanine, just trying to sack this essentially. Thunderbolt goes down. And he Earth Powers, takes out my Arcanine, and at this point I feel like he thinks he might be in the front. Because I switched out initially, and you might not know I'm offensive Celesteela. So I go out in my Raikou here, throw the extra sensory. This is 65. Again, I'm thinking it might have been an Assault Vest, because if he was offensive, 99, I think. 99 like the min roll. Like it was a great chance to kill. So Earth Powers me. And that's directly in range of me clicking Autotomize the Celesteela and just winning this game. So as long as he doesn't para me here, which he does not, Autotomize the Celesteela, and boom. This game is over. GG to Lo-Fi. And we have made it through the first 5 weeks of PCL, everybody. We go to 4-1. Great for us. 4-1 plus 9, I believe, is our differential. Great start for us. And regular videos will be coming here in the future. Really close games all around. Really fun games all around. This team is ridiculously fun. Celesteela is a ridiculous mod. 13-1 this season for me. Such a personal favorite. Such a personal favorite of mine. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for watching if you made it this far. And more PCL content will be coming in the coming weeks. And you guys have a very nice day. Kingdra's out.